Welcome into episode 3 of Before and After, where we
discuss movies, music, shows, games, more, all that awesome stuff. I'm Spence, and I'm joined by Vince. Vince, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Spence. Now today we're looking ahead at Chris Rock rebooting Saw, Indiana Jones news, John Wick 3. We're going to do our before expectations of that movie before we go and see that, and record our after podcast where we fully review it like we did in episode 2 with Netflix's Ted Bundy. But to cap off the rest of this episode, we're going to be looking at the Billboard Hot 100. So let's start right in with Chris Rock rebooting Saw. If you didn't know, there's a few Saws already. So
just one or two out there.
I think so.
Or 9.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I understand that people get mad about the recent reboots. You know what I mean? Just making shows out of it. But there wasn't 9 of whatever they're rebooting.
No, there wasn't. This is certainly a franchise where it's, you feel like we're done with that. We've moved on. Kind of like Transformers. We've moved on.
They just keep on going. And with Saw, I don't know if the ratings got better, got worse, but they kept making them. So they had the money for it and they did it. But Chris Rock, why do you think Saw intrigued him out of the blue?
I think I'm just as shocked as everybody else where they said, oh, by the way, Saw's getting rebooted by Chris Rock. I'm just like, wait, who again?
So
the guy from Everybody Hates Chris, that guy? Like, I'm so shocked as to what his role in this is. What do you think?
Especially Saw, it just doesn't work with his genre. He's comedy. Yeah. Now, I know Jordan Peele just got into darker films. Are they darker Zone. Comedy? He's doing Twilight Zone as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he produces Twilight Zone. So you're seeing you're seeing a lot of comedic people, stretch themselves. They're trying something new. I'm certainly open to it. Saw seems like a bit of a stretch, but
I don't know where you go with that story, first of all, but I think the fact that it's Chris Rock, that's going to pull some people in.
Absolutely. I would think so.
Now, might change some things.
Is he starring in it, or is he just producing, writing, or directing it?
See, that's what I don't know, but if I see Chris Rock in a Saw film, like physically see him, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that.
That might pull you out of the experience. I don't know how I feel about that.
He played a cartoon character. Which was it?
Osmosis Jones, I think. That was him, right?
So I'm just going to picture that kind of stuff. Regardless.
I have a quote here that I actually want to bring up. And this is from the Lionsgate Motion Picture Group chairman, Joe Drake. And he's talking about Chris talking to him about this movie. And he says, Chris Rock came to us describing in chilling detail his fantastic vision that reimagines and spins off the world of the notorious Jigsaw killer that we're all in. Now, does he mean spin-off as in like actual spin-off? Like you got to see the other 9 Saw movies to understand this? Or is this a full-on reboot and it was just a poor choice of words? What's the deal with this? What do you think it is?
I hope you don't have to go see the other 9 films. Other than the obvious, it would take forever. But people, our age maybe haven't seen the Saw series. It's a much older generation.
Yeah, it's older. What, 2004, I think it started?
Maybe. But, we weren't watching Saw. Like, that type of film just wasn't. We weren't old enough to want to go out and seek that.
No.
So he should give something that's fully rebooted just to give a fresh look at it.
Yeah, new audience.
Yes.
An entirely new set of eyes on this thing.
The only thing I can see that has gone, long is the Star Wars franchise. They keep going, and they've done it in multiple generations now, or multiple decades, excuse me.
And generations, too.
And generations. So, yeah, it's changed, and it's gone throughout things. So you can change this with Saw.
One more quote I want to add in here. This is Chris Rock himself saying this. He says, I've been a fan of Saw since the first film in 2004. I'm excited by the opportunity to take this into a really intense and twisted new place.
Is it not twisted enough?
What does that mean? Somebody comes in with a pitch for the next Saw movie, and they say, hey, by the way, it's going to get a little twisted. Well, duh. I don't know. Is there going to be comedy in this thing? I just don't know how I feel about this yet, but I guess time will tell and we'll find out soon, imagine.
Do you want comedy in it?
No. Well, when we saw it, I loved those kids in it. That dynamic of all those kids just, riffing on each other. It was hilarious. I loved that. So in spurts, I could accept some comedy, but a full-on comedy horror, I don't think I could take that seriously.
Not a huge fan of horror in the first place.
No, not really.
But throwing some comedy in it, just like It, a little bit funny here and there. Well, moving on a little bit here, just a quick thing, some news about Indiana Jones. They did was there 4 of them? The
yes.
fourth one had the aliens.
Yes.
A little far-fetched for me.
No, that was very grounded, very, very regular story that we can all relate to.
Just related perfectly to the first 3. Well, Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford came out and he said, quote, "Don't you get it? I'm Indiana Jones. When I'm gone, he's gone. It's easy." And this was when people asked if he could play, or if anyone could play Indiana Jones after him.
Who's the next one?
Now we see this a lot already with the Avengers.
Yeah.
We talked about that in episode 1. A couple of them have reprised the roles, but a couple are just done, such as Captain America, Iron Man. But those characters themselves, the actors are done. The characters, is there anything next for them? Are they going to get people to fill in?
I don't... In terms of Indiana Jones, where more can you go with this? Like with the Avengers, there's so much story to tell with everybody. And, we're going to see new iterations of the cast and whatnot. But with Indiana Jones, well, how much more is there to tell?
And it's been a while since the 4th movie.
Yeah.
More than 5 years, I think. But I think if they make another film, number 5, they're going to have to allude to all the cheesiness in cheesy ways, using the Indiana Jones music, his outfits, and they're going to just bring a lot of attention to that, I think, instead of relying too much on a story. It'll just be for the nostalgic aspect.
Another thing that you got to look out for is Harrison Ford is 76 right now.
76.
Dude's not getting younger.
He got injured on the set of Star Wars too.
Yeah.
So it's not working well. I'm putting him in an active role. I don't know.
I feel like with somebody who's getting up there in the years, you got to have a strategy for where's the franchise going after this. Because Indiana Jones it's a popular franchise. Yes, it's older, but I still feel like people would be into that. You got to speed the thing up. Even in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, everybody's just like, he's old though. He's old.
They were saying that then.
Yeah. And, this is maybe 8 years later. I don't know how I feel about him. I'm sure obviously that quote was in a, tongue-in-cheek satire sort of way of nobody else can be the role, haha. But I think somebody else should be Indiana Jones. What about you?
Indiana Jones story one, what I'm going to lead that into is where do they go with that? Because it depends on the actor then. We see with Batman, Robert Pattinson's coming in. He's going to be the youngest Batman at age of 32. But with Indiana Jones, you were saying they already saw him as old in part 4. So do you go, what's next in there? Do you show his childhood, teenage years?
You could do a prequel of sorts, or I feel like, at the 4th one, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, it alluded to the fact that Mutt Williams, his son, played by Shia LaBeouf, he picked up the hat for a second, and you're just like, okay, he's the next one. And so you could go like his kid sort of route and just the next generation of that. Now he wouldn't really be fighting Nazis anymore, but that's fine, I suppose.
I kind of like that they leave it up to your imagination if they leave it like that. I know we talked about Dark Knight in the first episode, but in part 3 of that, you see Joseph Gordon-Levitt pick up something, or he's told that his name is Robin or something.
Yes.
And they left it.
Yeah.
You cut it there.
You know where it's going next, but you don't need that.
You don't need to see it.
We had a perfect ending of Indiana Jones 4, and then they're just like, hey, there's a 5th one. I just assumed it would be Shia LaBeouf. Obviously, he's gone a different route in his life.
He's gone a few routes.
So then you hear, oh, it's Harrison Ford as Indy. Where are they going with this? Is what I want to know. They better have some good de-aging CG on him. That's how I feel about that.
Way too much work for Indiana Jones. Well, our last movie segment is going to be our before for John Wick 3. We're going to be talking about our expectations when we do our befores, talk about any buzz that's going around it so far. John Wick 3 has been out, I believe, a week.
Yeah, this is the second
2
week.
So the buzz so far, what have you been seeing? What have you heard?
Now, overall, the John Wick series, people rave about this thing. Everybody that I know. Absolutely. I've never seen anybody come out of a John Wick movie where it's just like, not enough action in that, or there's not enough,
Don't even say deaths.
yeah, not enough deaths. But overall, they all score 90 plus in the Rotten Tomatoes category. This third one took a massive drop to 88%.
Oh, wow.
Your worst reviewed movie is 88%, where 88% of the people that go in had a good time with it.
Are you thinking the story is just that good, or is it Keanu Reeves that's leading that, or a mixture of both?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think Keanu Reeves is a really awesome person to have, and I feel like it's that story of that pulling you in. With the first one, when his dog dies, spoiler alert,
man,
his dog dies. There's a little piece of you that it's just like, everything you're about to do is justified. We can get behind this guy. You can just not relate to this guy because obviously this never happened, but it's interesting to follow him and it's just fun. You go into it's not Shakespeare. You go into this for a good time and I think we're going to get it.
After the first movie, you kind of know what to expect from the rest and you still love it.
Yeah, right. It's like those Taken movies. If you liked it the first time, you're going to like it the other times. And if you didn't, you're not going to like these. So I feel like with these, if you liked 1 and 2, no reason to see why we wouldn't like number 3.
Now we're going to go see it.
Yes, we are.
You just saw 1 and 2?
Yes, I did.
Good stuff or no?
I absolutely loved the first one and I really liked the second one.
What's your favorite thing? Is it the underdog aspect, or is there something else in the film that's driving you personally to go see part 3?
Whenever I see a movie, I'm always looking for a compelling story and interesting characters to pull me in. But there's other times where if I'm watching like a Godzilla movie, I'm just like, give me the action, give me all out zaniness, mayhem, give me it all. And when I see John Wick, that's what I'm looking for. And they really deliver on that promise. So it's just the action. What do they call it? Gung Fu or whatever that is, where he's just, it's just good. Let's just say that. All out mayhem. Just bring it on. I love it. What about you?
I haven't seen part 2 in a little while, but I loved that one. The first one was great.
Oh yeah.
Before John Wick even came out, my brother was a huge fan. I didn't think I'd love it so much, and then I got into it. I can see why everybody does, and I'm excited for part 3 because if you watch the end of part 2,
it's a bit of a cliffhanger.
A little bit
of a cliffhanger.
And you're saying part 3 picks up right where it left off?
Supposedly, it's going to pick up right where they leave off with the contract being placed on them, and
literally everyone. It's in Chicago.
All their phones ringing. Yeah,
or somewhere like it. But yeah, everyone's phones ringing. They're all chasing them.
Like this is just going to be a good time. I feel like it's just going to be a good time.
Did you think that's going to be the end of it? Well, actually, for me, I saw before they announced part 3. You already knew there's part 3.
Now, they've already announced a part 4.
Yes.
So obviously, there's some sort of unresolved action that goes on at the end of 3. But if they wanted to end it at 2, I feel like that's a place where it's just like, you guess what's about to happen next. So, yeah, I always hate it whenever you hear about a movie that's announced after the movie you're about to see. Like, oh, we knew Spider-Man was coming out after Endgame. Well, it's like, well, obviously Peter Parker's going to come back. So I would have wished that they had waited on before they announced number 4 just yet. But
they did that with so many other heroes from that film that kind of hurts it. But you need to promote it. Once
the dusting happened, you knew, oh, some of those guys are definitely coming back. So I feel like with this one, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I should be able to get past that.
I think Peter Parker's feeling much better, Mr. Stark. Mr. Stark, not so much. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. And when we get back, we're going to be looking ahead to E3 and then the Billboard Hot 100. Looking ahead to E3, a huge convention. A lot of games have been rumored for such a long time. I know you and I were talking about it before. We're kind of mad. We just want to play the game.
The wait is just unbearable for some of these things.
Now, when they do finally come out, I think it's got to be worth it because these games are getting bigger and bigger.
Absolutely. The scale and the time it takes to make these games. I mean, just a game like GTA 5, how long did that take? 6 years to make? It's long. It's crazy.
And the amount of gigabytes, it's pushing 100.
Yeah, it is.
And most recently, Red Dead Redemption 2 being the biggest game.
Literally came on 2 discs. I haven't seen that anymore. I haven't seen that in years.
And the difficult part is you have to download every game you have, even if it's disc.
Yes.
So these gigabytes are, kicking up a lot.
Big games, and they require a lot of space, but, I love them for it.
Well, for me, I think I'm looking ahead to Cyberpunk 2077 the most. I saw the trailer and some gameplay the other day. It looked fantastic. It's made by CD Projekt, the same people that made Witcher series. Great series at that. So Cyberpunk, I'm looking forward to. How about yourself?
A while ago, we had heard about a Doom sequel.
Does it need a sequel,
yes,
Spencer?
It does. Yes, it does. There's so much more you can do with those interesting 2 characters. How many were there?
I only played the first half. Which one did I play? What number was that?
That was Doom 2016.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I went to hell the first time instead of 4 times you got to go?
3 or 4, yeah, about that.
I get to go there and back. All right.
So I'm really looking forward to that. There's also, they're guaranteed that Borderlands 3 is going to be there. That's going to be a big one.
So many people got to play at the release of that too.
Yeah. I'm really excited for that. I'm not the biggest Borderlands fan, but I can't deny that one's got me looking. We also got Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order.
That's just the multiplayer one that they keep making, right?
No, that's Battlefront. Battlefield? Battlefront?
Not Battlefield.
Star Wars Battlefront. The one with the microtransactions. That's that one.
But is this an actual Star Wars game?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a Star Wars single player experience. And yeah, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little interested.
The game looked just like the movies do.
Oh yeah,
I think that was great.
They look good.
They can make a fantastic single player.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We also got rumblings of Watch Dogs 3.
Did you play any of those?
I played the first one.
Yeah.
And nobody played the second one.
Nope.
But second one's supposedly very good. I've heard good things about it. So we might get Watch Dogs 3, and yeah, I'd be interested. They rumored another Assassin's Creed coming in.
Where are we at now?
I want to say 11, something crazy like that.
Did they pick a time period or place just yet?
Oh, I'm not seeing anything on that.
The most recent one, what was that? Egypt?
I thought it was ancient Rome. Egypt
Rome.
And then Rome. I would imagine they're probably going to finish off their ancient series with another something.
Now, I've been playing it since 3 was probably my first one.
Yep, mine too.
Yours?
Mine too. 3 and then Black Flag.
Everyone loves Black Flag,
the ships, except me. The ships, and then you get the people singing. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love that game. It was fine though.
No, definitely. I'm not a huge fan of pirates, first of all, and second of all,
yeah, definitely the theming. If you're not into the theming, it ain't gonna do anything for you.
But second of all, the thing that I failed on, I couldn't advance in the game because I didn't upgrade my ship.
Oh,
so I couldn't win or go anywhere.
Oh, that's a reset right there. You're gonna have to start from the beginning. Yeah,
exactly.
I feel like with those RPGs, you gotta stay. You don't want to make things too easy, but you want to be able to get people back into it, because if you're going to jump back into it, you're going to have to restart. That's a big ask. That's a tall order.
That's a big game.
Yeah, it is. So I feel like you got to make things a little more accessible. I'm hoping, I haven't played any of the new ones recently, but they're supposedly very good. Learned a lot of lessons, corrected a lot of things.
Do you think they just keep making these every couple of years or what?
Well, they used to make them every single year, like the Call of Duties.
And there's also another rumor for that one, but continue.
Yep, that's another one. But I'm okay with little repetition. A lot of people didn't like Batman Arkham Origins because they thought, oh, it's just Arkham City. To me, that's fantastic. Arkham City was awesome. So if you're somebody who's into Assassin's Creed, just getting more of the same content, I feel like you can't not be happy about. But if you're not too into Assassin's Creed to begin with, maybe this is one to skip. We don't have to wait too long for these either, because the convention is Tuesday, June 11th, all the way to Thursday, June 13th, which is like 2-3 weeks away. We're getting close on these.
Do you normally watch it live?
I've watched a few of them live.
Because they're a couple hours long for sure.
It's a little tough. And, last year we had all of because Sony wanted a more immersive experience. So then right before The Last of Us 2, they had some cellist come out and play a song. It's like, you can just show me the trailer now if you want.
Just get to the good stuff.
But that's another one. Last of Us 2, I feel like we haven't mentioned. That's Ghost of Tsushima, that one too. There's a lot of games where it's just like, what's the word with this? And, supposedly Sony isn't going to be at E3 this year.
I don't get that move.
I don't either.
They're huge.
There's rumors that the PS5 is going to get announced either this year, next year, something like that. So I think you got to show up to one of these things, though, don't you?
Have you heard of the latest video game way that they're going to go? It's transitioned seamlessly from device. I think it's through Google. You just log in with your Google account and you just start playing.
Stream it, yeah.
And it's super efficient.
It sounds so interesting. Yes, I've heard about this. And, I saw a bit of the press conference where they're showing off guys playing on his phone, guys playing on his TV, and he's just jumping from tablet, phone, TV, and all sorts of things, even on his PC, I think. It's incredible to think that, we're getting close to that. We're getting close to being able to play whatever the newest release is on your phone. But
and it played just like it did on the Xbox or on any device they were playing.
Yeah.
Even on the phone, because it streams differently. Another thing was that they're going to start or eventually get into streaming the games, just like you'd log on to Netflix and watch a movie.
Right. Yeah.
You'd log on and play a game.
I feel bad for the person who has a slow internet connection there. Oh, that would be a little bit rough.
You weren't playing anything.
But that's the Google Stadia, I believe it's called. Sony and Microsoft, or the two of them, are even thinking about doing something like that as well, or allowing you to stream your games ahead of time. I can't say I'm not interested. It sounds like a cool idea. We'll see how it works though. Like the whole Nintendo Switch thing, it's such a cool idea. Do it anywhere. But
we're still trying to get crossplay to work for every game.
Gosh, yes, we need that.
As of right now, the only one that I can think of that I play is Rocket League.
Yeah. I think Minecraft can do it if you're into
Minecraft.
That. Oh, Fortnite, yeah. You can play
Fortnite's there.
Even with the phone, too.
But there's such a huge difference when people play with PC. They got the keyboard, the mouse, so much more efficient and quicker than playing with a controller like Xbox or PS4.
Definitely a massive, I'm not going to say advantage, but there's an advantage there. Let's just say that.
Now, I know you like the physical copies, the physical media. You love DVDs.
Yes, I do.
You always buy disc still, even though you got to download it on the Xbox or PS4. Regardless, do you think it's going in a good direction now that they're trying to stream games, or do you like the way it is now?
As long as they can keep costs down, if this is a way to make things cheaper, because a $60 game, that's a lot of money.
We need cheaper.
If this is a way to bring costs down for a company, then count me in. I'm so interested in this. And there's even rumors that the PlayStation 5 will still have a disc reader in it.
Which the new Xbox doesn't, right?
Yeah.
And they just released that?
Right.
That was huge.
Xbox, I don't know what they're calling it, whatever.
There's something. They said letters.
Yeah, all sorts of letters. So as long as, if it's cheaper, then I would absolutely go this digital-only streaming service route. But if not, well, you got to give me a reason to not be physical, because as of right now, a digital game costs $60, physical game costs $60. Sometimes you can get bonuses from stores, pre-order stuff. As of right now, there's no reason for me to go digital only just yet. But what about you?
I like owning the game. Yeah. I think if anything goes down, internet, whatever happens, I'll have my game. I'm glad it's on the cloud technically when you have to download them to the Xbox and stuff. But I don't know how I feel, if they are going to stream, I'm not going to own those things.
The thing that bothers me is, what if they turn the server off eventually? Which
they do on a ton of games.
Eventually games like Ark, all that stuff, all that thing, everything that everybody's ever worked for, and that's all going to go someday. And I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, you can't keep that forever. I know we had this conversation before because it's such a huge game.
And it's not too often that you go back and play something old, but it's always something. It's something nice to have. I can go pop in my PlayStation 2 and just play
every
no
game.
Internet connection, just play anything.
And we're both sports fans. We buy the sports games, the 2Ks, stuff like that. And a year or two later, those servers are done.
Yeah, you can't play online anymore then. Have fun in your franchise mode and all that. I really hope that we don't go in that direction of you technically never own anything. Because a lot of games you'll see as multiplayer only now. Well, what if, 10 years from now you want to go back and just play it just for fun? Well, there's nobody on there, or the server's been shut down or something like that. it's a little troubling to hear that.
I think they have to go back to the old days of PS2 and make quality games that you could just play forever.
Some of the greatest games ever come from that generation, and to this day, they still hold up.
Well, we're going to take one last break and get back to the Billboard Hot 100, take a look at the top 10, see how long they've been lasting and what's going on with that. And now it's time for our last segment, taking a look at some music, the Billboard's Hot 100.
All right, this is a big week. Big week.
Huge week, you think?
I'm going to shock some people.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
But Old Town Road is still number one.
I keep hearing it everywhere I go.
Yeah, it's getting a little old for me. It's been at number one for 7 weeks in a row.
I did a field day at my mom's school. She's an elementary school teacher, teaches first grade, but they had field day, so that's the entire school outside, just jamming to some music, and Old Town Road came on, and about 500 kids started dancing to it.
Really?
Too many kids.
Flossing like Fortnite. Oh, boy.
That's exactly what it was, and everyone had a little dance for it, and they were singing it, knew every word. I don't know how this song is having such an impact.
And to think that, the country community doesn't want any part of this.
No, that's why Cyrus got involved.
Yeah, it's crazy to just think about the success it's had. Whether or not you like it, you gotta tip your hat and just be like, all right, well, good on you.
Got to give that cowboy hat a little tip right there.
Yeah.
Well, what else is happening in the top 10?
Number 2, brand new, Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber's I Don't Care. Now, I haven't heard this one yet, but I'm interested.
It isn't bad. I still have that stigma with Justin Bieber.
Yeah, he took a bit of a dip.
Little bit.
A lot of it.
But we were also around when he created his first songs as a kid, basically.
That's true.
And we had to think he was annoying then.
Yeah, Baby didn't help anybody. Let's just say that.
But he's getting better. Pairing with Ed Sheeran, not a bad choice.
No, not at all. Number 3, we got the Jonas Brothers, Sucker.
That was their first one. They since then came up with Cool, and they've announced, I think it was around 12 to 14 tracks on their newest album and their tour. I like that they're back. I didn't listen to them before, but their songs are great now.
It's been a while since I've heard the Jonas Brothers. I never thought that they left, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I had no idea. But now that they're back, it's just like, well, okay, I'll go back to listening to this, maybe check out some of their older stuff too. So good on them. I'm glad they're back.
One of them went to what, DNCE?
I think that was Joe, I believe.
I think you're right.
I could be wrong.
So that kind of hurts them a little bit. I don't know if they're too active right now, but
yeah, I have no idea.
I'm still a fan of Nick Jonas the most. I know he's got the most exposure.
Oh, yeah, that's everybody's favorite. Just like Paul McCartney, everybody loved him in Beatles. Everybody's favorite Jonas Brothers, Nick. Number 4, we got Billie Eilish's Bad Guy.
Did you listen to it yet?
I haven't.
Man. It's, wow.
It's something?
It's something. I mean, well, like I listened to, I think it's around 3 to 4 minutes, and like 3 minutes, it's a good vibe. You can kind of move to it. I like it. And then it gets into her she's kind of talking a little bit more, and it gets creepy because she's kind of creepy.
Really?
I get that vibe from her. And if you look at her album covers, yeah.
Out there.
But the weird thing is she's only like 17.
17?
She's a teenager.
So many young people on the boards, even at number 1. How old is Lil Nas?
I have no idea.
He's like 20, 21. He's young. So a lot of young people out there. Maybe I'll skip this one, though, at number 4. At number 5, we got Post Malone. Wow. With a period. Don't forget the period.
I'm shocked that's still out there.
That's been on the charts for 21 weeks.
Yeah. I've been playing at my the radio station I work at. They've been playing it forever, and I've just been announcing it nonstop.
It's moving up, though. Last week it was at number 6. This week at number 5. I don't know what it is, but the popularity is back.
Just gotta love some Post Malone. All right.
The number 6. Well, you said you like Post Malone, right? Well, number 6, I got more Post Malone.
There's more?
Post Malone and Sway Lee with Sunflower. This is from the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack. And now I've heard this one. What do you think about this?
It worked in the movie.
Yes, it did.
It's getting a little overplayed, but just like every other radio song.
A little bit,
Song
yeah.
on the radio.
Eventually, everything gets old after a while.
You need it to go away for a little while to come back. It's a good song, though.
Yeah, not bad. I really like it. Number 7, we got Sam Smith and Normani, Dancing with a Stranger. It's been forever since I've heard Sam Smith. What did he sing the lead song to? Spectre, James Bond.
Oh, I didn't know he was in that.
That was the last time I heard Sam Smith.
You should listen to the song. It's really good.
Really?
A lot of meaning behind it. He's definitely felt some hurt. And if you listen on Spotify has the behind the lyrics section. I highly recommend reading that or just listening to the song. Yeah.
Check that out. Well, that's a recommend from Vince. I'm in. I
There
should
we
look
go.
that one up. And number 8. Now, everybody always says, I've heard everybody say this, that number 8, everybody wants number 1, but you really want number 8. Number 8's the best spot there is. So let's see who number 8 is.
All right.
It's Taylor Swift and Brendan Urie's Me.
Oh, man.
Now, it is dropping down a little bit. It's been on the chart for 4 weeks. It's at number 8. It peaked at 2. It's moving down a little bit, but, for me, this one ain't getting old.
I still listen to it. It's still new. Yeah. I'm waiting for more.
Good. Yeah. When are we getting more?
And in episode 1, we talked about Brendan Urie's voice just being able to hit everything.
That guy can do anything he wants. I want him to be a voice actor in some sort of animated movie because he could do it.
I would go watch that.
Yeah. Name recognition alone, I'm in. Number 9, we got Khaled. Talk.
Oh, Khalid.
It's Khalid?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, I can't stand his voice. He did a track with Pink on her latest album.
Really?
Hurts to Be Human. It's the title track. I just can't get into his voice. Nothing against him. He's cool. Looks cool. Obviously can sing. I'm just not a fan of the voice.
He's got quite the hairdo there. I'd kill for a nice cut like that.
You don't want the curly red hair anymore?
It's getting a little bit much.
All right.
But 14 weeks, he's at 9 and he's moving up. So good on him.
Good for him.
And finally at number 10, we got Halsey, Without Me. I have no idea what this is.
Halsey and Wow by Post Malone have been just around a long time.
32 weeks on the chart this one's been on for.
There has to be, in the 90 other songs that are on there, there has to be other songs that are just better, though.
Gotta be something else out there. Now, I haven't heard this one, so I'm sure it's good. But 32 weeks, still in the top 10. Wow. As Post Malone would say, wow.
Wow.
Wow. But that'll do it for the Billboard Hot 100 Top 10 review from Vincent Spence here.
Yeah, just to recap this episode 3 of Before and After, we took a look at Chris Rock rebooting Saw. Still not a fan of that.
Yeah,
Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford says no one else can play Indiana Jones. When he's done, Indy's done. Then John Wick, we did our before. So in episode 4, our very next episode, we're going to have seen John Wick 3, and we're going to give the full review about it, see what the directors and actors are saying about it. Talked about some E3, and then just wrapped up with some Billboard Hot 100. Spence, thanks. It's always fun talking to you.
Oh, it's been a blast today.
I hope you get that Khalid haircut.
Oh, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to call my barber right now.
All right, we'll take him on over there right now. That's going to do it for episode 3 of Before and After. I'm Vince.
I'm Spence.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.